Hello.
Hello, and welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here, Cirrus over there. We're so far away, Cirrus.
At least I would be over there, but I am barely viewable. Why is this my video card doing shit again?
You look fine on my end.
On your end, yes, but look, you had my stream up. Look over there for just a second.
God damn it. No, I closed your stream because I didn't want to have echoey bullshit going on.
You've got extra monitors, I assume?
Yeah, but it's on a different desktop and... Okay. Mute. You look like ass. I look like ass on your ass.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that at all.
Okay, everybody just come and watch it on my side.
Give me the views. Certainly an option you guys have. I'm gonna reboot Zoom real quick for just a quarter second, see if that fixes it.
Oh, you're gonna make me let you back into the room? Fucking hey, Cirrus.
Yep, that's...
God damn it. God damn it. Oh, now we got the infinite zoom of Zoom. Admit. Now you look like ass on my end.
There we go. Now things look better on my end.
You look like garbage on my end, though.
I do look like I'm at 480p on your end. I don't know.
You really do.
This is a small sampling of the shit that I'm dealing with the video card right now. Everything that uses the video card is struggling in some capacity.
Cirrus,
I don't know what's going on.
Cirrus, I'm just happy to have the tech issues be not me this time.
Yeah, I'm used to the tech issues not existing on my end, but here we are.
Yeah. Sounds like a skill issue, motherfucker.
You know what? Settle it in a fucking card game or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't touched the cards since we packed them up. Sir, for those of you unaware, Cirrus and I went to Godless Engineer's house for his birthday. And we met up with a bunch of fun people like Godless Granny and Richard Carrier.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a fun time. And Cirrus decided to gift me a Magic the Gathering deck. And then I gambled on they had at the card shop, there was like, you roll a D100, you pay $40 to roll a D100, and then you get the deck that corresponds to what you roll. So I gambled with that one, and I got one of the Doctor Who decks.
Which is exactly what he was going for. God damn it, Axo!
Well, I mean,
why the fuck?
I would have rather had one of the other one, like not. It was my second last Doctor Who pick. But
would you have rathered the Dalek deck?
I don't know. I didn't see the Dalek deck.
I
know there's the 10th Doctor one from that era, like 9, 10, 11. There was the Classic Doctors, which is the one that I got. There was the 13th Doctor. And then I guess the other one was the Masters deck, wasn't it?
Yeah, Masters of Evil, which is the Dalek deck.
Yeah,
it has all the...
Okay, I didn't know that it was the Dalek deck. I thought it was the Master deck. So
so the way that they design Magic decks is there's always two like primary strategies in it. So for that one, it's the Master and also Davros. Like those are your two like main pilots for the deck. So it can either lean really hard into Daleks, or it can lean really hard into whatever the fuck the Master's doing in that deck.
Okay. So yeah, Cirrus is trying to get me into that, and by trying I mean probably succeeding, because I did. Oh, I'm not going to say that because it's Christmas present related stuff, and there is a child lounging about somewhere instead of being in bed where they belong.
Also, Axo, fucking shit, you with your goddamn 50,000 channel points, war words having motherfucking shit balls. Oh, whoa.
I heard
there.
The fridge water going.
Apparently
I'm just hearing things. Yeah, no, I was distracted. I have an editor now. I'm relying on them. They sent me an MP3 file for the last one. Oh, speaking of which, I got to show this off. God damn it, I've meant to set this up earlier, but you know, skill issue. I'm a pro. My editor is amazing.
Yeah.
This is. I'm not going to spoil what this is for. Get the hat in a second, but
Old Gus, thank you for giving me your points for an whoa as well.
So I'm not going to spoil what this is for, but this is something that my editor put together for me. Gay Unicorn Gary.
I saw that in the group chat.
Yes. Praise be Gay Unicorn Gary.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Gay Unicorn Gary. Like, I just gave 2 instructions. It's just like, I want a picture of Gay Unicorn Gary. Like, that's the name. And Gay Unicorn Gary must be derpy. Because I feel like that's a derpy kind of unicorn.
Is he using a staging plug instead of a horn? That is a staging plug instead of a horn.
Piper did not explicitly tell me that, but I would not be surprised if that was the case.
Yeah, that's a sizing staging plug. That's meant for
no,
that's meant for making your butthole get progressively larger.
I know that Gay Unicorn Gary.
That way wieners can fit in it.
I know what it's for, Cirrus. God damn it. But they have told me that Gay Unicorn Gary is canonically trans, and he does have the mastectomy scars.
Okay.
So yeah, this is there is merch for this now.
That's great.
And that is confirmation. It is a staging thingamajig, staging plug. So there you go. There you go.
Like, that's a staging plug. Yes. Okay. Yep. I recognize that.
But yeah, so that's in my video this Friday, and there is merch because like I just did a thing to be stupid.
Unicorn Gary merch.
No, I just did a thing to be stupid, and then like Piper can confirm this. After they had edited the whole video, I messaged them being like, "Hey, I just thought that this thing that I just did kind of needs a cartoon character to go with it. Can you quickly design one for me?" And I gave very little in the way of instruction, and that's what I got, and I love it, and it's great. Thank you for resubscribing for 7 months. Duct Tape Jake, I owe you guys a hat. Somebody did that. New hat, because I went to the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in whatever the fuck, Alabama. Huntsville, that was the one.
We also had to basically force you to get a hat because you didn't want to get one at first.
Well, okay, so yeah, the thing is, I don't want all my hats to just be a ball cap, because that's boring, and I don't wear ball caps.
You don't want to be a ball cap guy?
No, I'm not a ball cap guy. So
it's like one of those Midwestern guys who always keeps a freaking tire gauge in his back pocket.
Yeah, but like, I have the fucking flower hat. I got a pirate hat. I got a wizard hat. I got the communist shapka. So like, it's like boring ball cap. I don't want that. So like, we actually looked into. They had like the little kids play astronaut helmets, but it barely fit on my head, and like the visor was like right on my nose and like digging up into it, and it definitely wouldn't fit with headphones. So it was a no. But that would have been my preference because that's a bit more silly and fun, and that's what I like in a hat. As Kalak says, everywhere in Alabama is wherever the fuck Alabama. Yeah. So yeah, I went to the Huntsville Rocket Center, saw the Saturn V. Spaceships. Spaceships are cool. Yumi and
Godless to crawl inside.
Yes, me, Cirrus, and Godless Engineer were cuddling inside an Apollo capsule. That was fun.
It was a fun experience. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I also have news.
Oh?
I have news. I need to be quiet, though, because this is stuff that we haven't told the kids yet.
Oh, is this the stuff I already know?
I think you already know it. Yeah, I did say it in the chat.
I won't spoil it.
So, as long as the home inspection is fine, we're moving. We got an offer in on our house. And everything looks fine. Everything looks good. So we're going to be moving away from our neighbors. I've got so many scenarios planned out in my head of things that I can do on my way out to just as a last little fuck you to them. And we're going to be in a house that actually will have enough room that all the kids can have their own bedroom. And I'll have my own office. And it's going to be amazing. And I love it. And it's just, it kind of sucks that we have to pack during the holidays, but whatever. Yeah, so that's great. Now
I'm
I have to figure out a design for a permanent studio, because like my shelf thing kind of worked out. Is like that was a built-in shelf that came with the house when we bought it, moving to Alabama. Fuck no. So yeah, the shelf that I use as my backdrop was just kind of built in, and it was easier to use it than take it out. And so now, since I'm converting a garage into an office, I can basically like start from scratch and do whatever the fuck I want, which means I have to figure out what the fuck I want.
Entirely fair, but at least you'll be away from your goddamn neighbor.
Yeah, that's
the big thing.
That's the big thing. Yeah, it really is.
Now you get to trade one bad neighbor for another potential bad neighbor.
So we've driven past a few times. They seem to. So we went to that neighborhood for Halloween, and the neighbors on one side of us are one of the houses that like goes all out, and they loved having all the kids come and see them and stuff, and so they seem fun. So like, just like, you can't judge people just based on their Halloween decorations and how your kids interacted with them at Halloween, but like, there were no red flags. And on the other side, I don't know, I haven't seen anything that looks like a red flag. They don't maintain their property. Well, I mean, they don't like not maintain it, but like, they're not like super duper on top of that, which is actually fine with me. That means they're not going to like be judging us if we're not super duper on top of that.
Okay.
But yeah, so like, I don't know. There are no red flags really.
That's at least something. That's it. Nakibri says, "What's up with Rhino's neighbor?" Oh, so Vice Rhino's neighbor is a dick and does a lot of dick things, like calling his own child a whore.
No, not his child, my child.
No, but not his own.
The way you
Vice
said that made it sound
Rhino's
like he's
child.
calling his own child that. No.
Sorry, that was a little too ambiguous. I meant to say that he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah. That's putting it mildly.
But yeah, that's what's going on there. That's what that issue is.
Yeah. So that's not the only reason we want to move, but it's definitely a contributing factor.
It would be a good reason for me to move.
It is, but like,
it's enough.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my exciting news. So I'm in a fairly good mood.
Well, I'm glad you're in a good mood. Would you be in an even better mood if we dragged you into a gas station that had a giant beaver mascot that wants to take pictures with you?
That place is so dumb. I don't, like, why do people like that place? He's talking about, what is it, Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's, yeah. For y'all who may not know, we dragged Vice Rhino to Buc-ee's, which, if you've never been, it's
stupid.
It's like Trailer Park Disneyland.
No, it's not even that.
Rednecks.
No, it's just a fucking store.
Yep.
But it's got a guy in a mascot outfit and people making jerky that yell every now and then. Like, it's just it's just a big store, but people yell at you about their brisket.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense.
Hello.
Olivia Williams is reminding everyone to like the video. Thank you, Olivia.
Like it or die.
I mean,
he says, I went to Buc-ee's once and I went down to Atlanta last year. It's just way too big gas station. Yeah, it is that.
It's stupid. I don't know. It's the kind of place that if I saw that, I'm Buc-ee's is the last gas station for 50 kilometers and my little speedometer thingy says that I've got 51 kilometers left till empty, I would risk it to avoid Buc-ee's.
That's fair.
But I mean, my partner got a pair of earrings there, so I guess she's happy.
Fair. Ravi says, I'll take Wawa over Buc-ee's. I will be honest. If I had a choice between having a Wawa right next to me and a Buc-ee's right next to me, I would gladly take the Wawa. I adore Wawa.
How to tell Rhino is Canadian? Why? Because I don't like Buc-ee's?
You already have enough beaver.
Yeah, no, we got beaver themed stuff up here. I don't mind beaver themed stuff. That's not what bothers me about Buc-ee's. Okay.
It's his weakness.
What, Buc-ee's?
Yes. You're weak to Buc-ee's. It's super effective on you.
No, specifically stores with lots of people in them are my weakness. So like it's a gas station. It's got all like everything that's bad about a gas station is there, but it's also really popular, so there's lots of people there. So like it's a gas station but worse.
So it's a gas station but multiplied 10 billion fold.
And actually along those lines, so remember how a couple weeks ago I mentioned that like I'm pretty sure I'm autistic, but I'm not going to use the label because I haven't been officially diagnosed and I don't want to do the self-diagnosis thing.
Yeah.
So first off, some clarification on that. Somebody posted a comment about how like they saw me as like talking down on people that are self-diagnosing. I get it. It like diagnosis is not something that's feasible for everybody, and sometimes having a self-diagnosis can be helpful. Like if you know that this is a thing about you, then just knowing that can be helpful for you. I wasn't trying to shit on self-diagnosis as a concept, although there definitely are people that will like they're neurotypical people that will see an ADHD TikTok and be like, oh, I forget my keys sometimes.
Hashtag me for real.
I must have ADHD. Meanwhile, the people that actually have ADHD, when they don't forget their keys, that's because there is a cascade of like 15 different little accommodations that they've designed for themselves that actually worked that time, allowing them to get their keys. Whereas for a neurotypical person, it's like, no, that's where my keys are. Why would they not be there? And so it can kind of look the same, but internally it's different. Anyway, along the autism thing, I still no official diagnosis. However, one of my other kids has now officially been diagnosed. And while I was talking to the psychiatrist about the assessment afterwards, she just kind of casually dropped like, oh yeah, and you're definitely autistic too.
Ah!
And I was just like, okay. And then, yeah, so she can't, and she also told me like, yeah, I'm not going to I can't officially diagnose you because I specialize in pediatrics, so I can't diagnose adults. But yeah, you are. So again, like this is a gray area where I'm not sure if this counts as diagnosed or not. But like
it's less diagnosed and more like side-eyeing you go, we know.
Oh, and then after she said that, she then asked me like, what do you do for a living? And when I said YouTuber, she just kind of looked at me like, of course. It's like, okay. Duct Tape Jake says, put the keys in the key bowl. Yeah, you're assuming that I remembered to take them out of my pocket to put them in the key bowl.
Yeah, this is my reminder. My keys aren't in my key ring like they're supposed to be. They're still on me. Crap.
This is actually one of the features of my car is that it'll unlock for me when I walk up to it. So I don't have to ever fiddle with the keys. And since it's a wireless key fob, I can, at least in the wintertime, just leave my keys in my coat pocket and I'm good. Doesn't work so well in the summer, but in the winter it works because they're just in my pocket and I forget about them.
It is a miracle that either of us can function.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. Tasha says embrace the gray and then or embrace the gay. I sometimes get the two confused. You guys have all joined me for both of those journeys. So why not? Okay. Yeah. Okay, time to take off this uncomfortable fucking hat because I'm not a hat person. I don't know why I did the hats because I'm not a hat person. I don't like hats.
I think that's why you did it. You knew it would be a thing you were
probably
averse to, so you knew that your audience would respond to it in kind.
Bait, motherfucker. Do you also get the heated seats because I have heated seats and they're so good? Yes, they are, especially in the winter. Unfortunately, weirdly, so I can start the car with my phone, like just get it, like have the climate running. Doesn't unlock it or anything. You can't drive away in it, but it's like a remote start. For some reason, like it lets me choose all the options. I can set the temperature. I can set like whether the defroster is going, whether the mirrors are going to be defrosting and everything. And like, okay, really nice. For whatever reason, I can turn on the heated steering wheel, cannot turn on the heated seat. You didn't think I'd want a warm bum when I come in to sit in my car? Like, you get into the car, the whole car is warm, but then you sit down and the seat's still cold. Like, what the fuck is that?
I never even considered a heated steering wheel.
It's so nice, but also so unnecessary. Except on my last van, which was a piece of shit. Whoever designed that fucking thing, they decided it would be a good idea to have a metal ring through the steering wheel right where you would put your hands. So in the summertime, that's fucking hot. And in the wintertime, it's fucking cold. There was a period of like 2 weeks in the spring and fall where it was comfortable. The rest of the time, it's just like, you gotta hold the steering wheel like this until it cools up or heats up or cools down. I don't know why, like, who decided putting metal in a fucking steering wheel was a good idea.
Dorito Dave in my YouTube chat says, I'm acoustic and I'm self-diagnosed with AC/DC, AD&D, and I suffer from HDTV.
You said ADHD or AC/DC, right? I don't know how well the microphone's picking that up. It's very quiet. Because, yeah. No. Okay. Shall we do some news? Because we're starting with a fun one.
Sure, why not?
Cyrus, would you like to go to church and confess to AI Jesus?
I'm gonna go fucking kill myself.
Hey, you know what? If there's gonna be a job for AI, it's gonna be being a priest. Because at least the AI is not gonna fuck kids.
Yet.
As long as they don't give it a body. As long as they don't give it a body, it's probably fine.
Until it starts learning from history or some shit.
Yeah, it'll verbally assault them, I guess, but it can't actually touch them. But yeah, of all the jobs to get taken by AI, take the priest jobs, man. That we don't need them. They can be robots. I don't care. Is AI Jesus how Skynet starts? I don't know. Maybe. Did Rhino get an Ioniq 6? Because that's what I have, and it sounds like he is describing my car. I have an Ioniq 5. I believe Ioniq 6 was this year's model, so mine's a 2024. Whereas I think the 2025s are out now, I think. I don't know. I don't actually keep up on them. I'm not even sure if mine's a 2024. It might be a 23. As soon as I buy the car, I forget. And this isn't my first Ioniq either. I had one of the Ioniqs before they went all electric when it was hybrid. I think it was a 2018, and that was my before I got the car I have now. That was my favorite car, and I always was kind of sad that I had gotten rid of it. But like when Mrs. Rhino died, like I don't need 2 vehicles, and I've got 3 kids, so the van makes more sense. So I got rid of the car despite liking the car more. Anyway, AI Jesus takes confessions at a Swiss church. A small chapel in the picturesque Swiss town of Lucerne, I'm probably saying that wrong because I'm not Swiss, has installed an AI Jesus that allows parishioners to confess their sins to a digital version of the Son of God, which is just amazing. Yeah, they outfitted the chapel with a heavenly hologram projected behind the latticed opening. Just love that. Like, go confess your sins to the heavenly hologram of our Lord and Savior.
I don't want to live in a world where AI Jesus is a thing, Rhino. I don't. I get that world.
I would rather live in a world where AI Jesus is a thing than AI stealing all your art is a thing.
We live in both, though. That's
I know.
the problem.
I know. But like, if we're gonna give AI something to focus on, it's taking the jobs of religious leaders. That can only result in good. There will be fewer children molested. Would be. Yeah. So the creators of the Deus in Machina.
Deus in Machina?
Deus in Machina, as opposed to Deus Ex Machina, is this the Deus in Machina project?
Yeah, that's
God in the machine, as opposed to God of the machine, or is that one? Yeah. Um, uh, Gwenham82 says AI politicians. Yeah, we're already getting that with Musk. Like,
Yeah.
if he's not a bad AI, I don't know what is. um, yeah, anyway, they say it's an experimental art installation aimed at exploring spirituality in the context of artificial intelligence. Deus in Machina encourages... I love this. It's like... Deus in Machina encourages critical reflection on the limits of technology in the context of religion. It's like, okay. Okay. The encounter with the AI Jesus and the supporting program are intended to encourage critical engagement with AI. Next sentence. 2/3 of people who use the AI Jesus confessional booth said they had a spiritual experience, though one described it as a gimmick. So they designed this thing hoping that this would give people more critical thinking and be like, hey, you need to be more critical of AI stuff and how you use AI. And 2/3 of the people were like, oh, it's just like the real Jesus.
He talks to me for real, for real. I love it when he talks to me. He definitely always does that, though.
Deus Ex Machina literally means God in the machine. So what is in? Is that Latin? Or I think
no,
it's Greek.
Deus Ex Machina is God from the machine.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And Deus in Machina is God inside the machine.
Okay. Ghost in the shell. That's what this is. Right?
Basically.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I just love that they, like, the whole point of this was to, like, get people to think critically about AI, and then instead of thinking critically, they're just like, oh, it was so wonderful talking to Jesus.
It was so good talking to our Lord and Savior. Oh my God, I loved him.
Yeah, so we got quotes. He was able to reaffirm me in my ways of going about things, and he helped me with questions I had, like how I can help other people to understand him better and come closer to him, said one woman. It's like, yeah, no, AI is really good at reaffirming the things that you say to it. That's one of its most basic things. Another said, I was surprised. It was so easy, and though it's a machine, it gave me so much advice. It's not going to be good advice if it's AI stuff. Also, from a Christian point of view...
It's going to tell you to use super glue to keep your cheese from separating on your pizza.
Also, from a Christian point of view, I felt taken care of, and I walked out really consoled. So, again, not really critical thinking. Which, honestly, though, like... it is probably better than having real humans there from a humans do bad shit all the time stuff. And like, yeah, no, if you're going to replace a job with AI, replace the job that is professional liar. Because AI is good at that.
As opposed to, artists. I don't know. The problem, I still have an issue with the AI Jesus thing, because there are going to be people in a few years that are just going to look at that and go, no, that's the window to which we see our Lord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In which case, why would we listen to the Pope? So instead of listening to the Pope or Ben Shapiro or what's his face? Beardo. I forget his name, and I'm glad that I forget his name, so fuck that. I'm not going to try and remember it. Like, instead of listening to these people...
Matt Walsh?
Shut up. Why would you remind me?
Because you forgot, so I helped.
I hate you. Yeah, so like instead of listening to those people, we can listen to these AIs, which are being programmed by these companies to give, like, as banal answers as possible. So, like, that's probably better. Like, AI would be an improvement over Ben Shapiro or the Pope. So, yeah. I mean, then Steven Anderson programs his own AI that will only give homophobic answers.
You just imagining an AI Ben Shapiro. Ben, I'm just curious here. Is it okay for a man to lie with another? It is always okay to kiss a homie goodnight. That isn't gay. But if it's gay, that is something that you should obviously avoid, because it's not natural.
Yeah, I say, what we're doing here is an experiment. We wanted to launch the discussion by letting people have a very concrete experience with AI. We should be careful when it comes to faith, when finding meaning in religion. That's an area where we humans are actually vastly superior to machines, so we should do these things ourselves. Yeah, humans are better at lying than machines are, so that's why we should send the AI off to do art, because it's so much better at art than humans are, right?
God, I want off this planet, okay? Can we do that, please? Can I like
Asking AI Ben Shapiro about WAP.
That means it is diseased. You need to go seek a doctor for help. Perhaps you should seek help from my doctor wife.
Yeah, but then what happens if Dr. Wife gets wet at someone other than Ben Shapiro? Like, oh no, you gave her a disease.
That happens all the time, especially in black neighborhoods.
God. I have no comment on that. It wouldn't count as continuing that tradition if you designed a bunch of robots. That would just not be the thing that people want. They say at the end of the experiment where 2/3 of people really wanted that and had spiritual experiences.
They just want to be closer to God. They don't really care if it's actually God. They just care that it feels kind of sort of like it. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all it is a feeling anyway, so. Like, realistic, like, there has been research done where they've done brain scans while they're having people think about moral issues, and specifically directed at, like, think about what you think about these issues. Now think about what other people think about these issues. Now think about what God thinks about these issues. And there's a definite and measurable difference between what areas of the brain light up when you think about your own morals versus when you think about other people's morals. But when you think about God's morals, it's identical to when you think about your own morals. And that includes, one of the things they did as part of that experiment was they, like, it was a long-term experiment. They found people that changed their minds about certain things, and they came back and said, okay, well, now that you've changed your mind, what do you think God thinks about that? And again, God agrees with them, and it's the self-referential parts of the brain lighting up again instead of the thinking about what other people think. So what you get from that is God is a mirror. God doesn't exist. God is just whatever you already believe. Also, my invisible friend believes it. So replace God with AI, which is just going to parrot shit back at people, but like sanitized because liability is a thing.
Yeah.
So I see that as a potential good thing. This could potentially be the one good use for AI. And when I say AI here, it's not like AI is a very muddled term in technology. Realistically,
it can mean whatever you want it to mean.
Well, nowadays it gets used for pretty much everything, but generally when people are talking about the breakthrough AI that we've had over the last couple of years, they're talking about large language model stuff, and for art, it's the stable diffusion. And that's kind of what they mean. Neither of which is really AI, because it's not actually intelligent. It's just like do you remember when, like, a while back it came out, like, if you ask these AIs how many R's are in the letter strawberry, all of them gave the wrong answer.
Up.
That's because it doesn't actually understand what you're saying. It is just assigning numerical values to different words, and based on patterns that are found in language, it will determine, like, what is the most likely numerical response to the numerical thing that you just fed me, and turn that back into letters, and this is what it gives you. So it doesn't actually understand what you're asking, so it can't just count the R's. There was something about the numerical values of those particular letters or whatever that it tripped it up and made it count wrong. And it was consistent across all the different AI models. So, like, it's not AI, it is literally just predictive. It's
predictive modeling.
Yeah, it's just the middle button on your keyboard for suggested words, but fancier.
It's the it's the technology version of a cold read.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. It's the technological version of a cold read.
Basically.
It has as much predictive power as one.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's not actually intelligent. And like people that are saying that, oh, we're just a couple steps away from like general AI. It's like, no, we are so fucking far away from that shit.
Yeah.
Error 404, prayer not found.
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't respond to that. I can't answer that prayer to open the airlock.
Pray to Gay Unicorn Gary. Gay Unicorn Gary answers all prayers, but the answer is always have a gay orgy.
The answer is always have a gay orgy?
Yes. It answers every prayer, but the answer is have a gay orgy.
Well, in that case,
and then I
guess we have to.
And then you will feel Gay Unicorn Gary deep inside you.
I need Jesus to come inside
me.
Come,
Lord Gary, come.
I've seen people in my comment section get angry at the amount of times that joke gets made, especially on this show. And I'm just like, look, I get angry at the amount of times I get told I'm going to burn in hell for not worshiping your God the right way.
I'm currently responding to okay. So the guy I'm responding to now, he's a fairly small YouTuber. He's quite charismatic, and he's got like I don't know, I kind of like his style or whatever, but like the fact that he has to sanitize his humor to be Christian friendly just kind of strips it of its effectiveness. So like it all turns into like fart jokes and stuff that is just infantile. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, I guess there's nothing really more mature about saying, come inside me, Lord Jesus. But I don't know, it feels less like you are actively dumbing it down. I don't know.
No, I can see where you're going, because there's no difference between a cum joke and a fart joke. It's just
not really, but
it's just how we perceive the two. But they are effectively the same thing. We're talking about something that extrudes from the body that we find unpleasant when other people do it sometimes.
So Mark is asking, do Gay Unicorn Gary and Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe, Leaf Be Upon Her, ever interact? Not that I'm aware of. However, I feel like this is the beginnings of my channel lore.
Because Gay Unicorn Gary is now going to have a Q&A about how he operates?
I don't know. But...
he should.
Gotta talk to Piper about that one. Piper's the one that has the direct line. But
there was a direct line involved with the creation of Gay Unicorn Gary. I can guarantee you that. But it may not be the one you're thinking of.
That's how we got all those good movies of the 80s and 90s.
Everybody was on cocaine and just went, man, what if the cop was a robot?
Okay, Cirrus. Next story. Yeah. Kind of depressing that these people exist in the first place, but comes with a video. Body cam footage, neo-Nazis who marched in Short North claimed to be victims of violence. Would you care to see a video of a neo-Nazi spraying himself in the face with pepper spray?
I would fucking love it. I'm sorry, they're not people.
Okay. Oh, no, God damn it, pushed the wrong button. And listen for the squirt. There it is.
Oh!
What the?
He just squirted himself in the face with mace.
An idiot.
And then he keeps doing, and it's hilarious because this police have them pulled over and they know they're armed and everything, so like they're having them like hold their arms above their heads. You can kind of see it in the back seat. And like I'm not gonna play the whole video, but like he keeps offering him a medic and stuff, and like like every time he's like reaching down for the water bottle, he's like, nope, keep your hands where I can see them. And then like the other guy looks like he's going for the mace, where he's like, nope, slowly, very, very slow. And it's pretty great. It's pretty great to watch. It's depressing to think that if those people were black, they probably just would have been shot as soon as their hands moved a little bit.
It is depressing to think about that, but it is also hilarious to think of a neo-Nazi just hitting himself in confusion over and over again.
Spraying himself in the face with pepper spray. It was amazing. Yeah,
Like, I'm
so
sorry. I can't give any kind of sympathy to you anymore if you're openly a neo-Nazi.
yeah,
Just
well, this
not a thing I'm capable of
yeah,
anymore.
this is a fun little article because they're very whiny. So like the neo-Nazis told police they had never experienced a response like the one they received in Columbus. People pulled guns on them and threw cans and vegetables as they
You
marched with their swastika flags and
I,
yelled racial slurs.
I'm gonna ask a question, and we may differ on this, but do you consider an open swastika in and of itself a threat of violence?
I'm going to say yes.
Because
So
I'm
this
kind of
self-defense,
on
right?
that. I'm on the page of that being
Punching
self-defense because
punching a Nazi is self-defense. Yeah.
there is no world in which you brandish a swastika in this day and age where you are not attempting to signal to people that they do not deserve to live.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are signaling to people that they do not deserve to live, then I can only consider that a threat.
Yes, punching Nazis is self-defense. My slight disagreement with you is I would not use dehumanizing language. Like they are still human beings,
No,
but
that's entirely fair.
but I
That
ain't
wasn't
gonna have any sympathy for them when people throw cans and vegetables at them.
that wasn't off the cuff thing that I could have done better with. I agree with you there because the minute the scary thing about dehumanizing Nazis is not because of how it makes us treat them. The scary thing about dehumanizing Nazis is that it distances ourselves from feeling like we could become them. That's
Yeah,
so I do agree dehumanizing language was not the correct way to go about it. But that is my reasoning, not in defense of the Nazis.
yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with what you were going for. But yeah, no, they got big mad because people were throwing vegetables at them because they didn't want to tolerate swastikas.
Get
And
wrecked, nerds.
that was my hydrate that Van Brigg sent 24 minutes ago. I just noticed it now. I'm sorry.
Maybe they should not be Nazis if they didn't want.
Yeah. No,
Maybe don't encourage violence if you don't want violence to happen to you. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. This is what I posted on Blue Sky a little while ago how like I was saying that I think people should be afraid to be open Nazis. So yeah, the fact that these guys were all covering their faces, and the guy, like, if I played the video further, like, the guy that clearly showed his face to the cop's body camera while he was taking off his mask after pepper spraying himself, he did continue to try and cover his face through the rest of the video, and it's kind of hilarious. Because, like, he already exposed his face fully, but, like, they were trying to stay anonymous. The only one that gave an ID was the driver because it would be illegal to be driving without your driver's license. But it's like they are scared to be publicly known as neo-Nazis, and that is as it should be. There's another hydrate. Thank you for that, Conton83.
Like, I remember for a while there was this sentiment that these people should feel confident that they can let everybody know they're out and out Nazis because that tells us who to avoid. But the problem is the more spaces, public spaces, where people are allowed to be out and out Nazis, the fewer spaces where minorities are able to congregate, and it creates a natural phenomenon where eventually minorities leave majority spaces because they are no longer safe, because we've, quote, made a safe place for these people to showcase that they are Nazis.
Yeah. Scott D says, make Nazis afraid again. Absolutely. In a statement, Columbus police previously said they could not find sufficient probable cause to file any charges against the neo-Nazis. Boo.
That's how it always is, though. They've learned how to operate within the really, really weird confines of the American speech system.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the swastika cannot be prominently carried in Germany, it should not be able to be prominently carried here. No.
Germany kind of learned the lesson there, didn't they?
Like, if the actual home of those Nazis will not allow that, then maybe we shouldn't allow it here either. The problem is that here, we don't like talking about the fact that the Nazis learned all of their tricks from us and our eugenics movement and our brown shirts movements.
Yeah, but I mean, the states imported Nazis back back after the war.
Yep, we did.
Like, that was one of the things I learned while I was at the Huntsville rocket place or whatever. We
brought them here for their science.
So much shit in there about Werner von Braun, and all of it was like just glowing. He's such an amazing guy. Like, he's a Nazi. He inspected concentration camps. He used slave labor from Jews in concentration camps. He never expressed any remorse for any of that. He just kind of like came over to the States and was like, yeah, no, I'm just going to pretend like that never happened. And the States was like, you're smart, so we're going to pretend that that never happened. Yeah, Huntsville Space and Rocket Center. And yeah, Project Paperclip. Exactly it. Stealing Nazi scientists. And like, yeah, there is an argument to be made that he wasn't necessarily a believing Nazi. He was just joining the party out of convenience or whatever. But like, you still became a Nazi and inspected concentration camps for your slave labor out of convenience. Like, that's not a morally defensible position.
The problem that you run into as well is that, so we learned from the Nuremberg trials that just doing your job in any way, shape, or form was not a valid defense. It wasn't a valid defense for people in the military. The reason it was not a valid defense is because if you let that be a defense, the more there's a critical mass of people who can use that defense before you just create a movement where you can't point blame at anybody, despite that they're all the ones doing the actual actions that are bad. At a certain point, the buck has to stop somewhere, but the buck can't just stop at the leadership. You need to be able to hold the people who are actually doing the terrible actions accountable. If you can't, then they can just put a scapegoat in the front and hide behind that scapegoat every single time they are doing anything untoward.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, the neo-Nazis were in Columbus. They were wearing black and red clothing, carrying black flags with red swastikas. They told police they were leaving because they were under attack. Oh, poor babies. In the background, bystanders shouted at them to take off their masks because they're cowards who have to hide behind their mask because they know that they can't be out and out Nazis in public and have their identities known.
And like there are legitimate times to wear a mask to hide your identity. When you know that you are on a
I'd fucking say any fucking protest right now, or like during the Trump administration,
it is a smart thing to keep your face hidden.
Do not have your cell phone with you. Like,
yep, because they'll use location data to track you.
Don't even have it with you, like even in airplane mode or whatever. Like, no, just don't. Don't take selfies. Don't take video. Or if you like wear a mask. Yeah, no, there's
and wear a mask under the mask. So if somebody tries to demask you, there's just a fucking like pulled down beanie under there.
Yeah, it's scary times. But yeah, there are legitimate reasons to wear a mask at a protest. Because you're a Nazi
is not one of them. So
if you're a Nazi, don't wear a mask. Just ignore all that advice. If you're a Nazi, take all the selfies you want. Don't wear a mask. Bring your cell phone with you.
I need to...
Trump will probably give you a spot in his administration if he sees that you were there.
I need to get a ratcheting belt because I just with the belt that I have normally and the pants that I have normally, I found that my 9mm is actually too heavy to carry around. It like pulls my pants down, and it's both not useful and also very uncomfortable. But the reason I found that out was the weekend after the Trump election, or that Trump won the election, I went out to the card shop to play like I normally do, but I brought my weapon with me that time, going, you know what? Just in case somebody decides to be nightmarishly stupid, I would rather be protected than not, because it's very public knowledge that I am dating a trans woman, and I am in the Georgia South.
Yeah, and this is...
Maybe safe is better than not.
This is one of those situations where, like, ordinarily, I am very, very anti-gun. And I will say, like, in any situation, if there are no guns present, the absence of guns can prevent an argument from escalating. And the presence of a gun will then, the person who has the gun says, well, this is starting to escalate, so I'm going to preemptively stop it with my gun. And so that causes it to escalate even further. So, like, ordinarily, that's kind of my thing, is that, like, having a gun, like, just the act of having the gun is enough to cause unnecessary escalation. However, I honestly, like, yeah, no, I can't really come up with a good argument for people in marginalized communities or people that are close to people that are in marginalized communities to carry a gun right now. Like, I'm the most anti-gun person you'll find. I can't do it. I'm not going to look you in your eyes and say, like, hey, living in Georgia where everybody's anti-trans and everybody else already has a gun, you shouldn't carry a gun to protect yourself and your girlfriend.
Yeah,
like,
that would just be an irresponsible thing. It's
like,
why, like, there's a bunch of areas here who have a lot of women on staff and have very, very strict rules on whether or not they're allowed to carry weapons with them. And I am usually the first person to throw a fucking bitch fit about, like, oh, are we just pro rape now? Is that what we're doing? And anytime somebody would get mad about that, I'm just like, no, hear me out. What is one of the most likely times for someone to be sexually assaulted? At night, when there's very few people outside and very few witnesses. The other most likely time is whenever they're near a particularly abusive or drunk family member, statistically. But outside of that, it is outside in a non-defensible area. So if you have somebody working closing at a restaurant in this area, what is most likely going to happen more often than not? They are going to be in this vulnerable place. Why would you not want them to have access to protection in a very admittedly vulnerable area? We have two options. We are either pro protection or we are pro rape. There's not a fucking middle ground here. Sorry.
Yeah. And, like, I'll be the first to tell you, the quantity of guns in the States is probably the biggest contributing factor to the problem with gun violence in the States. Having the minority communities that are already marginalized and in a position of like being subjugated almost, having them disarm themselves, that ain't gonna solve the problem.
Yep.
So, yeah, no, I am very much anti-gun. I am not going to tell a trans person not to get a gun right now. I just can't justify that. So, yeah.
What's the statement we usually tell for minority communities? Always armed, never harmed. It's not exactly true, but it is a truism of defense.
Yeah, no, my autism wanted to be like, no, that's not technically true. Cause
yeah, I know. That's why I stopped. That's why I iterated.
I know what you mean, but I want to correct
it. Well, actually, there's a reason that my profile picture for Reddit is just a Suricified version of the "well, actually" meme. If there's any version of me that should exist on Reddit, it's that version. I feel.
Yeah. So police said they'd received a report that they were spraying people with pepper spray and hairspray. The neo-Nazis said that they were pepper sprayed first. Good. And they hadn't instigated any violence.
They openly wore proud swastikas. That is an instigation of violence. I'm sorry.
Yep. I agree. Because what does the swastika represent? Genocide. Eugenics. Violence.
Like it represents nothing but an admission that you would do harm to me and my loved ones. That is what it represents. And to argue otherwise is to be a liar.
Mm-hmm. So one black officer tried to reason with the marchers, pointing out that they were bound to see confrontation from people shouting hateful things.
Hitler was right.
Yeah, no, I like how they go out of their way several times to like make sure, like, oh yeah, there was a black officer there. The black officer talked to these neo-Nazis or whatever. It's almost like I have a black friend though. According to police records and video, officers followed the neo-Nazis to the Goodale parking lot where they loaded themselves into a U-Haul with Arizona license plates to leave town. Officers then pulled the U-Haul over to continue investigating the assault report. And then they complained about being told to keep their hands above their heads, saying they were losing circulation. One said they had to use the bathroom. He has to pee himself. It's like, you know what, bitch? I covered a thing where the frickin' NASA security guards detained a woman long enough that like she ended up wetting herself because she couldn't use the washroom because they suspected her of stealing moon rocks. And like the background to that was she was given a moon rock by an astronaut. And they found out about that and was like, no, all the moon rocks belong to us. And yeah.
Fucking.
So like, if NASA police can do that over fucking moon rocks, then like, fuck you, you're a Nazi. If you piss yourself, you piss yourself. I don't care.
It's even funnier when you piss yourself. That's just me though. I'm very mean when it comes to people who would threaten Saki's life. I'm sorry.
I am not going to say that you shouldn't be. Like, yeah.
That's entirely fair.
I feel defensive about people I love too. I'm not gonna like, yeah. Although I also have a lot of experience with people using the washroom in inconvenient places.
What?
I have 5 children, Cirrus.
Oh, okay.
And my partner bore at least 2 of those children. And if you know anything about things that pregnancy does to women's bodies...
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, yeah. And a dog. Yeah, the dog too. Yep. I forgot about the dog. I forgot about the dog named Puddles that everybody immediately was like, oh, is it because of pee? And it's not because of pee. That just happens to be apropos.
Sometimes they earned their names after they've been given.
Well, so it was named by our 5-year-old. She was what, 3 when she named her? No. You named her? I thought Sky named her.
I convinced Sky to name her.
Okay, you convinced Sky to name her Puddles. Isn't her middle name like George or something? George. Yeah, so Puddles' middle name is George. Can't use the bathroom with moon rocks. You might shove them up a dark place. I mean, dildo made of moon rock sounds like a fun time. So, one neo-Nazi carrying a long fixed-blade knife at his hip was placed into the back of a police cruiser after police said his hands were too close to the knife. Another was armed with a gun. The driver was armed with pepper spray. Officers said, yeah, if they were black, then a bunch of them would be dead and the rest would be in jail by now. So the fact that they let neo-Nazis off. And it's like, I know it's a common joke, but I'm like, the police were kind of like, if like the end of the video, you can see the police kind of laughing at each other about it, but like, I feel like the police kind of sympathize with them.
I mean,
because they're American police.
Who work forces.
It's American police.
They're just like, yeah, this is like the locker womb talk. The locker
womb talk.
Locker womb talk.
That's a Freudian slip if I ever heard one.
The babies in the womb learning to be racist. Jesus Christ, no. It's locker room talk for them, but they're not allowed to do it publicly.
Regolith is sharp as fuck, not good sex toy material. Yeah, apparently the astronauts really, really fucking hated the regolith.
Axo's just screaming in my chat as well. Do not shove rocks or crystals up your ass. How else can I align my chakras if not by shoving the crystals up my ass? You don't understand. I need to put the bismuth just about 3 inches deep.
Okay. Have I told you about the bismuth?
You have told me that you have bismuth.
Yeah, so I have bismuth. Have I told you about my partner who just a little bit on the wooey side? She has her healing crystals or whatever. She would never use crystals instead of going to a doctor. It's just more of a like, let's do it as well. Have I told you like when she found out what the active ingredient in Pepto-Bismol is?
Oh, was she just like, I told you so or some shit?
It's bismuth. So she's like, yeah, see, I told you crystals heal. Because there's literally crystals in this medicine.
Yeah, there's a difference between how it activates in your gut versus like rubbing it on your wiener.
Yeah, I know, and she knows, but she still lords it over me. And I let her because maybe I'm a sub. I don't know.
You're into that shit?
Put your boot on my neck, mommy. she just gave me the like grossed out look. Oh, it was about the mommy thing, not the boot thing. Put your boot on my neck.
One of these was a touch too far, but the other one.
Put your boot on my neck.
Good stuff.
Sexy lady. I'm bad at dirty talk, y'all. Mistress, there we go. Mistress, put the boot on my neck, mistress.
No,
it's not doing it. Not doing it for her.
No.
Madam, ma'am.
No.
Stop,
Hold
Fennec,
on.
stop. You're not helping.
You're an atheist on the internet. Hold on. You have to use milady.
Milady. Put the boot on my neck, milady. She just laughed. Queen. There we go, queen.
Any boot anywhere.
Yep. She's not putting the boot anywhere, she just said. That's disappointing.
That's hard.
My heart is broken.
Not as much as your neck would have been.
Fennec, I can play this game all night. Sovereign?
Put your boot on my neck, Sovereign. I'm reminded of the conversation at GE's house about fucking kings and making you watch them shit and making shitting illegal.
Yeah. It's the power move. Like it was the King Louis XIV. There was the royal toilet. If you were high enough up in the royal courts, you'd be invited to come and witness the royal toilet. Which the word toilet just means getting ready for the day, sort of thing, or whatever in their thing. But it did include watching him use the toilet. Someone did a hat. So let's do the flower hat. So
defecation.
So yeah, it's a power move. Like, I am going to make you watch me shit, and you are going to be grateful that I allowed you to watch me shit. Rosina says Pepto-Bismol is the only intentionally radioactive OTC over-the-counter medicine after they crack down on radium. Is Pepto-Bismol radioactive?
I mean, bismuth is to a degree.
Monorail says no, it's not.
Fairly certain bismuth is radioactive.
I don't think it is. It's fairly inert. I looked into it before I made the bismuth crystals by boiling them on melting the bismuth on my stove and letting it cool and occasionally agitating it with a fork or whatever to get weird patterns or whatever. And I looked into it beforehand. Yeah, you're supposed to wear gloves while you handle it, but it's basically inert.
Let's see here. Bismuth is mildly radioactive and emits an 8-MeV alpha particle.
Okay, but is it more or less radioactive than a banana?
Probably less.
Officer said no. Oh no, this is highlighted because the thing glitched out and decided it wanted to highlight that. But apparently this was Hate Club 1844. Was this neo-Nazi group? They actually call themselves Hate Club. If you're joining something called a hate club, just go to therapy. It's okay.
If you want to join,
everybody needs therapy.
If you want to join a hate club, just play Magic the Gathering. We can all hate Wizards of the Coast together.
Yeah. So, but if you find yourself joining something that actively calls itself a hate club, you need therapy. Yes, everybody needs therapy. But you probably need therapy more than most people. In 1844, they got their own number wrong. I imagine there's some other significance to that, but I am not looking it up because I don't fucking care. They're Nazis. Fuck them. Fennec says, Cirrus, my partner says if you want to join a hate club, play League of Legends.
Not again. Not again. I am no longer playing that game. There are very few things that could make me play that game again. That game makes me nightmarishly toxic. I have said some of the worst things I have ever uttered to a human being simply by being in that game.
And this is where I learned that Cirrus sometimes says the N-word.
Not to that degree.
I mean, that's the conclusion that you led me to with those words that you just said.
That's fair.
Bismuth's half-life is far longer than the age of the universe. So yes, radioactive, but not very.
Not to the degree that it matters. Pranay says, have you watched Arcane? I've seen season 1 of Arcane. It is a fucking fantastic show. I need to see season 2 now that it's out. Arcane is so goddamn good.
Apparently League of Legends has lesbians and yaoi.
Oh, it has a fuck ton of gay. It has a lot of gay. The big relationship in Arcane, which is the Netflix series about the League of Legends lore. Caitlyn and Vi, just very, very butch lesbian couple, are it is just hyper celebrated.
Okay.
Unless you're in China. I looked at the I saw the there's a scene where they're cuddling like after sex in the show, and in the Chinese version.
Wait, there's a League of Legends show?
Yes, it's called Arcane, and it is one of the most like critically acclaimed pieces of media.
Cirrus, if you getting me into Magic has started the dominoes of me like actually understanding what the fuck you're talking about 80% of the time, I'm gonna be pissed off at you.
You're gonna be pissed?
I'm gonna be pissed.
Is it because you're going to miss having our dynamic of me explaining dumb pop culture shit?
I don't want to know this shit.
So, one of the big things with Arcane, because I'm assuming you've seen Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, that's sad.
I kind of want to.
It's a very good film.
It was released it was released at the wrong time for me. I had like superhero fatigue where it's like, everybody says it's good, but like it's a fucking superhero movie. I don't want to see a superhero movie.
It's very different than the usual superhero movies.
I'm aware of that.
I will say my biggest thing with that movie, that both of them, and I'm waiting for the third one, is I am a fan of the process of filmmaking. I am a fan of animation. I am a fan of seeing like traditional and 3D animation blended together in interesting ways.
So I like filmmaking as well. That's why I can one of the ways that I enjoy, and not bad movies that are enjoyable, but like bad movies that are like just a slog. I will like stop paying attention to the movie and be like, okay, why did they decide to use the camera angle that they used? Why did they color grade it the way that they did? Why did they cut there instead of there? So like that, I'll start to like pick apart and analyze it that way. And like, yeah, sometimes they're just incompetent and they were making bad choices based on not knowing any better. But it still makes unpleasant movies at least tolerable.
Yeah, because it's the design process for it is interesting. That's
Twilight. That's how I got through Twilight.
So, Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best films showcasing a just masterful blend of not only 2D and 3D animation, but also how much frame rate can change a scene.
I am aware of that. I just have not seen it yet.
So, Arcane,
I'm sure I will enjoy it a lot.
Arcane is a series that learned every possible lesson it could from Into the Spider-Verse from a design process, and then made a masterclass out of it. Just from an animation standpoint, the only thing that it does not do to the same degree that the Into the Spider-Verse does is manipulate frame rates the way that Into the Spider-Verse does. But Spider-Verse manipulates frame rates because it's literally tied to the dimensions of the characters. Some people run at 12 FPS, some people run on 2, some people are animated on 4s, but you don't see a lot of that in Arcane. Everything else, though, every other lesson that could have been learned from the animation showcase of Spider-Verse is on full display in fucking Arcane.
Okay.
It also has a really good story. There's that too, but that's not the part that I'm gonna gush about as much as I love the story. If you don't like League, you're not gonna give a shit about the story when you walk in. It's gonna have to make you
never
like the
played
story.
League.
You don't have a reason to. It will just make you angry.
Okay. Sounds about right.
League is a fantastic multiplayer game, and it is best in class for multiplayer online battle arena style games. It is also a breeding ground for every level of toxicity possibly imaginable by humankind and needs not be experienced by real breathing people.
Okay, but Cirrus, the real question is, you want to go halfsies on Noah's Ark?
Oh, is it finally happening?
No, this isn't Ken Ham's one.
Damn it!
No. This one actually floats, though.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so there's a Noah's Ark for sale. Animals not included because it's Noah's Ark, so naturally it can't actually accommodate animals because it doesn't work. To say, Jeff Bezos may have the world's largest sailing yacht, but it's nowhere as unique as the vessel up for sale at Krimpen in the Netherlands. But he probably doesn't want it, and so far no other buyers have shown up either. So it's a Noah's Ark. This is what it looks like. It's a fucking Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
I kind of want it, but yeah, the price.
What price are they asking?
Yeah, I can either move my family into a house that is going to be good for my family, or I can buy this boat that I would then have to figure out how to move, which is going to be a whole ordeal on its own. So, like, I mean, the fact that that boat is as cheap as a house is kind of staggering. But yeah, that's because nobody wants it. So construction started in 2008, took 5 years and 4 million euros. That is not the selling price. The selling price is significantly lower than that. It has 7 decks, a cinema, a restaurant, and sailing equipment. But no facilities for the animals, whether in pairs or not. And the guy who built this is his second ark. The first one was 70 meter, which is moored at the Bible Museum in Hasselt. And he no longer owns that one, because apparently building arcs is not very lucrative. Okay. Unless you're Ken Ham. But even then, not as much as you probably wanted.
I guess fair. I mean,
move your family into the boat.
I'm just trying to figure out what even the market for arcs technically is. Yeah. If there even is one.
So I'm just, Lord of Uzkalak says, move your family into the boat. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but Italy actually has a problem with declining population. The States is going to have this problem too if Donald Trump actually does what he says he's going to do regarding immigration. Because y'all need immigrants, because the local women aren't having enough babies. I mean, I guess that's why they want to regulate women's bodies, so that they can actually have enough babies without the immigrants. But that's a depressing tangent, so let's not think about that.
Yeah.
But I forget where I was going with that. Oh, yeah, no. So Italy is actually, because they have such a low birth rate, they're actually doing crazy shit. Like, there's this beautiful, gorgeous, scenic Italian island where you can buy a house right now for €1. €1 because they're so desperate for people to move there that they're basically like, we'll give you this house for free if you come and move there. And I'm like, I can be a fucking YouTuber from Italy. As long as I got an internet connection, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like that might make the timing of Twit tweets a little bit weirder.
Not if we all moved to Italy.
My European audience would be super chuffed about that. Chuffed. I used a British word. There we go.
God damn it.
But the problem is we have stuff like, I don't know, kids that have to like see their dad occasionally, which their dad is an asshole, which would probably be better for them if they didn't see him. So if we just like absconded to Italy with all the kids, that would be great, but like that's illegal.
But like, if we theoretically, okay, theoretically, if all of us just got houses in Italy in the same general area and then used it as an excuse to also collaborate on other types of projects,
It's
that
a
wouldn't be the
tax
worst.
deduction.
That wouldn't be the worst strategy in the world, right?
It wouldn't. I would fucking love that because like the island that's selling them for €1, it's fucking gorgeous. Everything is just amazing, and it's like I would love to go and live there. That would be fantastic. But like I've got kids that have a dad that's not going to do that. Yeah, Fennec says, but you also have 5 children, a partner, and a dog. Yeah, no, it's it's 2 of the 5 children that is the main problem with that. The rest of them, it'd be fine. Well, I mean, I guess they want to see their grandmother. She doesn't travel much, but granddad would probably be okay with that.
Need to see here. Couple things real quick, if I can interject on a thing, because I'm reminded of this right now, thinking of like expenses and deductions and shit. So my video card is dying, everybody. I don't know why a 3080 is dying this early into its life. It's only been in my machine like 4 years, 5 years. I figured it would have lasted longer than that, but not 5 years. Definitely
he's technically got a better video card than I do. He's got the 3080 Ti. I've just got a 3080.
So I don't know why
I don't have
this
problems.
thing is shitting its bed, but it has been, and it's been making every single ounce of working painful for various reasons. People on stream actually got to watch a lot of that shitting the bed last night, where it happened live. It was fantastic. I had a great time.
It's always great to shit the bed live.
It is. Especially when you have like really bad imposter syndrome and you feel like you
Progress
have to
only. Same thing as me. Power malfunction. It's that fucking spike. It's that goddamn spike, man. You got to get a better power supply and it'll be fine. Get 1,000 watt.
Get 1,000 watt power supply and it should be fine.
I mean, this is all that's left of the entire bottle of wine, so take it with a grain of salt. But yes, I feel like I said that to you before I drank all this wine.
You did say it before you drank the wine.
So it's probably sound advice.
Fair enough. For the time being, though, I did list a 4080 Super up over on Throne on crowdfunding. If y'all want to help me grab that, then that is on Throne. If not, that is entirely fine. That is your money. Do not spend it if you do not have it or do not want to. Any of those things.
Alternatively, send him money directly and tell him he needs to just upgrade the power supply, because the graphics card is probably fine. Upgrade the power supply.
If
that's what Drunk Rhino says is the solution.
That is what Drunk Rhino says.
Vice Rhino. Yep, that's me.
So if that ends up being if that ends up being the case, then that would at least be cheaper. Let me see. Can I check what power supply I have just through system?
You said it was 850.
I believe it's 850.
Which should be okay, but that's like right in the range where the power spike issue might have been an issue. Did you say it was gold or platinum?
It should be a gold.
Okay. So that might be the issue.
I have never owned a platinum power supply.
I don't even fucking know how many watts mine is. I just know that it works.
All I know is to avoid silver and bronze power supplies because they can supply dirty power and make this issue happen all the time.
Do you have a UPS?
I have a UPS near me. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if it's one that outputs a clean sine wave?
Oh, I thought you meant like the fucking mailing store.
No, fucking uninterruptible power supply.
Oh, no, I don't have that.
Cirrus. Yeah, okay. Well, get one of those. Maybe that might be your issue.
Not a UPS store.
That might be your issue, and that will let you continue your, at least end your stream gracefully should you lose power. It's like, if my power goes out, I have like 20 minutes left to stream.
I wouldn't be able to do that because then the router would fuck up, and I'm very far away from the router. I would need to get two of them.
Okay, Lord of Escalak is pointing out that nobody's following our conversation right now.
Hardware breaking.
Anyway,
bad.
So back to the fucking Ark. Fucking Ark. Ark, man. So the big Ark is moored in... I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. It's some Swedish place. From its completion, it had about they had about 280,000 visitors in its 4 years there. That doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't sound like enough to recoup 4 million euros.
No, it does. Also, apparently, Ravi has just sent in 20% of the funding
Oh, nice.
for the 4080 Super. So that means we're 44% of the way funded on that. That's the
But
first good
Cyrus,
news.
the 50 series is coming out. Don't you want the 50 series where you'll have to upgrade your power supply to like a 2,000 watt piece of shit?
I don't. I've also seen that shit's like $1,600. Fuck that shit.
So, yeah,
I have
shout
nothing that
out
needs
again
that much
to the
fucking
person
power.
in, I think it was British Columbia, that like they just work at like some mom and pop hardware shop that allowed me to get this 3080 that I have, because I got this in the middle of the shortage. I don't remember who it was, but if you go back to like I have a joke video where I like installed it wrong and then everything blew up, but like it was a viewer who allowed me to like actually order it, and they like gave priority to me. Because
I got very lucky with my 3080 Ti. A friend of mine picked it up for me as a Christmas present. And I was like,
I
thank
paid
you.
for mine. But what's funny though is I actually downgraded myself to a 3070, and put the 3080 out where I was playing virtual reality shit. But since
Fair.
we started trying to sell the house, it was like, you want it to be as empty as possible. So we're like, okay, well, we don't really play virtual reality that often, so we can take that PC away. I'm like, okay, well, if we're taking that PC away, I'm putting the good graphics card back in my editing rig. The 3070 has a beefier cooler on it though, so it doesn't fit in the rig that I had the 3080 in before. So it's like, I tried to downgrade it, but I can't because the less powerful card doesn't fit because it's too beefy. And that's just a weird thing to me.
So the other side of that dono that came in for the card is that now I owe Ravi something.
An uwu?
2 of them.
Give him an uwu. Give him the uwus.
Since it's 2 of them, Ravi. Oh. There, you get them.
So
you get
good.
them chained together.
So good.
God damn it! Please don't tell me that I just came. It's terrible. It's terrible that I know exactly where that is from.
I spent an inordinate amount of time defending that as high art in a video recently.
When you pull it, the skin comes off.
Yes.
What are we even talking about?
I don't even know what my buttons do anymore. I just push the random ones, and sometimes it works out.
Please don't tell me that I just came.
Like that one. Okay. So, yeah, you spent 4 million pounds. No, not pounds. Euros building the damn thing. But now it's stuck. They got 280,000 visitors in 4 years. And it has to move now because there's a housing project that has to take priority. It couldn't make it over the Atlantic because there's no tow boats that are capable of doing that. So the Ark is not seaworthy.
Okay.
Doesn't do well in oceans. He told Dutch journalists, "You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that this has cost me a lot of money." Then he added, "They were all interested, but nothing came of it. And now I've had enough, and I just want to be rid of it." And the asking price is 350,000 euros. Which I don't know what that translates to in US dollars, but that seems to be around the price of like what I'm selling my house for and what I'm buying a house for or whatever. So like if I decided to buy his thing instead of a house for my family, we could do it. But you have to move it.
I don't know if your family would be super thrilled about that.
No, and you also have to pay to move it out of the harbor that it's in now. And
wait a minute,
because it's so
size...
big, yeah, at that size, there's no harbors that are willing to take it. So like, essentially, it's just a pain in the ass that you're buying, and you don't actually get anything from it, so that's why nobody wants to buy it.
Well, what I was saying is, at that size, though, if there is a harbor that can take it, why wouldn't you just take it to that harbor and then move your family into the boat?
That sounds like it's a bukkake joke.
No, not make a family with a boatload of something. No,
take it into the harbor.
We're taking
At that size, you take it inside of your harbor.
No, you take the boat into a harbor and then you just park your car there, and that is your new house. That is your new house.
Yeah, but like I said, we have to get
house.
Permission from her kid's dad to move them out of the country, which he's never going to give because he's a piece of shit.
Pernia has just sent me the greatest meme of all time that I have seen. Now. I could send it to you, but you'll have no idea what it even means.
As long as it's safe to show on the stream, just send it to me.
It's safe to show on the stream, and I can explain it if you want me to.
I don't know that I want you to. Just send it.
Sure. Throw this up on screen and see who responds. I guarantee you people will know exactly what this means.
Oh, I don't know what this is. Okay. Actually, so I don't know the details, but I've seen enough that I kind of almost get it.
Okay, so context for stream, or you can throw it up to stream.
I am putting it up on the stream. Just a second.
Okay.
So there it is.
Please do not cheer for a child being murdered from one flashback scene. So,
I know that's a Sonic thing.
Yeah, in Sonic Adventure 2, when
Shadow Sonic guy is holding some kid's hand.
Yes, and the kid is his best friend, basically. So that kid has AIDS, and Shadow was literally created in order to try to save that kid's life, make an immortal life form, use its DNA to help the kid that's dying of AIDS not be dying. Like that's his story. That's how Shadow came to be in the Sonic universe. So
I don't remember what this is in reference to, but Mirilana says silly Rhino Bukaki's taking it outside of the harbor.
So
sure.
The side effect, though, of making an immortal life form in a science lab is that the United States military said that was a bad thing to do, and they raided the science lab and killed everybody in the lab, including the child in front of Shadow. And it starts as he starts out as a villain in the series because that's the last thing he sees before he's put under for 50 years. Okay. And then he comes back and he's like, no, you fucking killed my best friend. All of you are going to burn. That's the beginning of his story. So,
I mean, that makes sense.
Shadow is also the most popular...
You kill my best friend, I'm not going to be happy with you.
Shadow is also the most popular character in the Sonic series. And for the longest time, when Sonic Movie 2 ended, we saw Shadow revealed as the thing they do in Marvel movies all the time, where they're like, here's technically a trailer for the next movie at the end of our movie. It's just an advertisement. That's the trick all the time. End of credit scenes are all advertisements. Yeah. So we saw Shadow, and we knew, okay, cool, we're going to get Shadow. How close to the video game story are we going to get in the movie? And if we're getting close enough, are we going to watch this kid get shot by the U.S. military on screen? And somehow that evolved into, oh my fucking God, I can't wait to watch this kid get shot on screen.
Dark Falcon says, so you're saying all of the arcs built thus far can't actually sail properly? That is correct. And I'm dropping that right in the middle of a kid being killed for Sonic.
And she got killed on the Ark. That is the name of the space station she died on, the Space Colony Ark.
There we go.
PJ Blazer says that's horrible. It's horrible, but on Twitter, there's a constant stream right now of people who work at movie theaters going, please, for God's sake, Sonic community, act normal and don't cheer loudly when the child gets shot. We know the child is going to get shot. Please don't cheer. Please act like normal people.
Yeah. No, Sonic people can't act like normal people because they're Sonic people.
I played the H Bomber Guy serious lore analysis of Sonic on stream the other day.
Oh, that's one of his old ones.
It's a very old one. Yes.
Love H Bomber Guy. He's so good.
He's a content creator that I want to emulate more so than I have in the past.
Just gonna say, I would suck that dick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You would peel the smegma off?
Absolutely.
All right. Fair enough.
Savor the smegma.
You'd savor the smegma?
God damn it. Why do you make me say these things, Cyrus?
I didn't make you say anything. This is Where did you learn to gaslight people like that?
Well, you know what? If it wasn't for Piers Anthony, I wouldn't even know what smegma was. So thank you, Piers Anthony, for being a misogynistic piece of shit. Who taught me about smegma? Through his erotic book that was supposed to be erotic, but was actually just weird.
Mirlana says saying please act normal to the Sonic community is like telling the tide not to come on. It's made even worse by the fact that Shadow Generations is out, and we do get to see Maria get not quite shot. They do the thing where they like cut away and have the gunshot sound, but it's as close as we can get to that, and that's in the game that just came out now. It's like, oh, okay, they're just gonna do it. They're just gonna fucking do it.
So Katini says drunk Rhino is dirty. I mean, sober Rhino is dirty too. Drunk Rhino just doesn't care if you think I'm dirty.
Starm says, I'm really hoping for the Bio Lizard. I want Blizzy in the movie. I want to see movie Blizzy.
Okay. Okay, last news item. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but Musk is claiming ownership of the InfoWars account in the sale of the Onion. So they're like, Twitter is basically being like, hey, no, you can't give that account to the Onion because I own it, so I'm going to take it. And they've done...
Is there anything in the TOS that even says he can do that?
Yes, he has done that multiple times. Like, he took the @America account for his super PAC supporting Donald Trump. So yeah, there is precedent for this, and this is basically just a reminder that, like, when you're on social media, you don't own your account. The social media site owns your account. You might own the content that you post on your account, and depending on the terms of service, that might come with different stipulations. Like, I know Blue Sky is very much against allowing AI to scrape your shit for their learning algorithms or whatever. But they also can't stop them from scraping them.
Yeah.
So they're just not actively encouraging them like Twitter is. And like, I don't really want to talk about this news item too much. It's just basically like, just remember that your social media accounts do not belong to you. They belong to the company that owns the social media. So Elon Musk can decide to take over your Twitter whenever the fuck he wants to. And yeah, Musk has it in the TOS that you are AI fodder. Blue Sky has actively said, like, no, we are not going to allow your stuff be scraped by AI. They can't really stop third-party people from using it for AI shit, and like they're seeing what they can do about that. But they are much more friendly to artists and saying, hey, we're going to do our best to make sure your shit does not get just incorporated into these AI models or whatever.
Blue Sky's definitely been a bit of a safe haven where that shit's concerned. It's just agitating that we have to have one, though. Like, that's my biggest issue, is that this even has to be a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the idea that Elon Musk could just one day decide that he wants your handle, and so you just now no longer have it because Elon decided he wants it now. That just seems dystopian to me. Am I wrong?
No, it is dystopian. Look, anything involving Elon Musk is always dystopian, but just the idea that one man can have that much fucking power controlling what he himself believes, or at least says, is and the marketplace of ideas. He believes he controls the marketplace itself. That's fucking spooky.
And like the fact that he's going to bat to defend Alex Jones against being acquired by the Onion, it's just kind of depressing. It's like he has an official position in the government. And it just sucks. Anyway.
And he plays defense for the guy who made definitely dubious claims, abusive claims about Sandy Hook.
Dark Falcon resubscribes for the 7th month, so thank you. Says, further proof Musk is a POS. Piece of shit. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say about that, is that, if you still have a Twitter account, you don't have a Twitter account. Musk has your Twitter account, and he can take it over at any time. Sure, most of us aren't going to see him taking it over, but it's still kind of concerning that he sees your account as his property. Oh, what are you sending me as an image now? What is that relevant to? It's just your monitors. Is that you? Are you okay? Cirrus, I just lost Cirrus. Oh. All his monitors are off. That's what's happening. Okay. So it's just me now. Hi. I'm too drunk to do this on my own. Cirrus, come back! Okay, well. Someone just redeemed a hydrate. I don't need a hydrate, I need fucking bread to absorb some of that wine. I know that's not actually how it works, but like, fuck off. Infinite rhinos. Okay, well, Cirrus will either come back or he won't. We'll see. So, moving on to some tweets. Cirrus will be back eventually. So I've found some nasty people on Blue Sky. Now, because of Blue Sky culture, I've basically took these screenshots and then I blocked them. So that's the thing that happens on Blue Sky, is you just block people that are pains in the ass instead of engaging with them, which is kind of nice, actually. Oh, here we go. Cirrus coming back. There we go. Admit. There we go. Are you back?
I'm trying.
There we go.
Be.
There we go. There we go. Hi.
I don't even know what the fuck happened there.
I love you too.
All of my. Did you use a roofie on me?
I don't think so. Did you use a roofie on me? Because I'm not going to remember any of this tomorrow.
No, I handed you a magic deck. They're kind of different.
Yeah,
but
so
you
Cirrus gave me
lose around the same
I don't
amount of
fucking
time.
remember what the name of the deck that you gave me was, because like I played that once and then I was like, I need to buy another deck.
Oh, the tokens starter deck.
Sure.
For, Token Triumph, Amira.
Oh, god damn it. Hats. More hats.
Yeah, but
let's go with
okay.
Let's go with communist hats, because all my alcohol is belong to us.
Let me see. Can I be online now? Is that a thing I'm allowed to be? I don't even know what the fuck happened. We were talking and then all of my monitors cut off and the computer restarted. No blue screen, no nothing. I got the message that you sent me with all of your monitors turned off before you disconnected. So it's just like, why are you sending me a picture of your setup? So the monitors, I guess the monitors all blinked out before before everything shut off then. No, that's even weirder.
Starm is asking what's my blue sky. It's at vicerhino.bluesky. Whatever the fuck. .social.
Vice Rhino official.
Vice Rhino. No, not official. It's just Vice Rhino.
No, you've got to do the official so you can shit on Matt Powell about
Alex Jones does the. Oh yeah, Matt Powell does the official. Anyway, so this was Baldwin on bluesky.social. They are now blocked by me. I've been having fun. I've been having fun with the block button on Blue Sky. It's been great. Are you daddies excited for Black Friday? I am. Okay. Fun fact about Black Friday. I accidentally scheduled my Raycon ad to come out on the week that my Surfshark ad was supposed to come out, and then I was like, oh shit. Whatever. Surfshark will be good. They'll be okay delaying a week or whatever. But then as soon as I realized that I had double booked them, I got an email from Surfshark being like, hey, we want to do a thing for Black Friday, so could you delay a week? I was like, yes, sure.
Perfect.
I will delay a week on purpose for you because you asked me, not because I accidentally double booked. So, and I did have one person that asked me like, oh, I would pay money to hear your real review of the Raycons, which are the, they've got their little protective case or whatever. I don't like that they got rid of the physical buttons that they've gotten for capacitive. I get that they did that because now it's more waterproof and dustproof and whatever. But I liked the real buttons. Aside from that, I'm not an audiophile. They sound fine. I know that Raycons have a bad reputation for sound quality. They're fine for me.
They have a bad reputation for sound quality amongst audiophiles.
Yeah, but
not amongst normal people.
So I can tell that they're not great, but they're good enough for me. But what I do with them is listen to podcasts, people talking. I don't care about the fucking EQ. As long as I can understand the words that they're saying, it's fine. And like, realistically, I've had enough wine that you guys are probably having a hard time understanding the words that I'm saying more than like would be affected by the Raycons or whatever. So like, I do get like, they're having people in the comments being like, oh, well, like Raycons are like not good for audio quality. Like, yeah, no, they're not. If you actually watch my ad, I didn't say anything about audio quality because I know that they have a bad reputation for that, but I don't fucking care. Because I'm not an audiophile. They're fine for me.
I have been informed also. I had a second to look at my Discord because everything shat the bed. I've been informed by staff that if the graphics card gets funded to 50% by the end of the night, then they will draw a threesome of me, you, and Gary the Gay Unicorn.
Oh, do it. Fuck it. Do it. I want to see that threesome.
I've been informed that a threesome is on the table, not that my consent is part of it.
It's fan art. Your consent doesn't matter. It's just art.
Gideon says it's already Splinter Ryan. It's at Throne, but according to Gideon, it's already at 50%.
Okay.
Oh, it is already at 50%.
Do it.
Huh.
This is our threesome, comrade. Check the throne. I don't know what that means, Rovi Learn. I don't know what check the throne means.
It's you hit / throne on my stream.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's a thing that I put in there. But now I've been informed that it doesn't matter. It's already happened. The gay sex events.
Yes, threesome with me, Cirrus, and whatever the fuck.
Put the
Gary
in
the gay
the
unicorn.
Skin, else it gets the dick again.
Do it.
Splinter Ryan says, but Dono also. Wait, is there other stuff that I have to? So if you guys send me Dono money, then that's gonna go to power supply because I think I'm just gonna fucking hit both sides of this. I'm gonna take Rhino's advice and also put in the card that might have fewer power issues. I'm gonna do both of those things.
Absolutely, 100%.
Fucking. This is frustrating. This happened last night too, where everything shat the bed in the middle of stream, but it wasn't the computer restarting. This time it was the computer restarting. I don't know what it's going to be next time. I'm having fun. I appreciate the dono. I appreciate the dono.
Okay, so RoVLearn is saying thronegifts.com/u/Cirrus? Sure. I'm going to assume that that's your thing.
That's the throne thing.
Sure.
That's where people can do the thing. It's already funded enough for the gay sex though, so we're done. We did it.
We love the gay sex over here on the Watering Hole.
Gay sex is already there. Gay
make
Luigi.
make all the gay porn of me and Cirrus doing all the stuff. I fully approve. And
Gay
my
Luigi.
approval is a tacit Cirrus approval as well.
I love that my consent is never part of this. it's just yeah, you know what? They'll put their wieners in each other.
We don't always have wieners in the fan art.
Not always. Sometimes I've got both. Sometimes I got both. I don't know.
Both is better.
Both is better. There's two holes in a shaft for controlling them.
I've been having fun on Blue Sky. When people put a block list, I will like take a screenshot before I block all the people. But I have been blocking all the people because it's fun to block people on Blue Sky. But Baldwin says, we're at a point where leftists are only willing to get along with people if they unconditionally accept every aspect of their worldview. I don't need you to unconditionally accept it. I just need you to not discriminate against it.
Accept that my partner deserves to live.
Yeah.
And then shut the fuck up. There's my
people
stuff.
that are alive have the right to life. Boom. Done. You don't need to approve of it. You just need to shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Silence is golden.
They use terms like "we support basic human rights" to guilt others to keeping any opposing views silenced. If you oppose basic human rights, that's a you problem. You can fuck all the way off with opposing basic human rights. The last 12 years have left like the goddamn Red Scare. I don't know what that's even supposed to... I don't even know what they're trying for at that point.
I don't know either. I think what they're doing is they're doing the thing where they've watched like Sargon or Quartering or some shit.
Being gay is communism.
Like they're just doing the thing where they've listened to some right-wing pundit tell them that the left doesn't like it when they, I don't know, eat cinnamon bagels or some shit. And then they're going, we can't do this basic thing as they do the basic thing. It's usually talking. They're usually saying they're not allowed to talk, but they tell us they're not allowed to talk.
Talk is using slurs.
And it's using slurs as well. And like, I can use slurs too. If you give me a time machine, I can go back to when idiot was a slur and I'll just say idiot a lot. Like that's fine. But it's not helpful. Okay. You also have to ask yourself the question of why do you need to say that word so much?
I'm just going to point out I've got my bot saying send food, why not? Treat stream whatever. I've never once had anyone send me food. Not saying I'm hungry right now, but
Morbius of Corel says, no, you want to force society to validate you? Validate in which way? Because, like, there's nothing...
So you don't need to validate trans people. You just need to not be like, hey, you don't have the right to exist.
Oh, I see. This person said that's why you punked off to Blue Sky. Ah, I see. It's a piece of shit in the chat. Okay, cool. Let's play the fun game. Let's play the fun game. So what does it cost you? What does it cost you to validate somebody's identity?
Absolutely nothing.
All right, cool. Now, what does it cost?
Absolutely nothing.
What does it cost them when you are cruel to them?
Absolutely everything.
Cool. So if we are trying
one of the things I've been researching is like, in addition to it causes mental health problems leading to things like suicide, there's also discrimination can cause PTSD. So like, it's the same as being in a war situation where you end up with PTSD.
Like the question you have to ask yourself, genuinely, to become a better person, ask yourself, what kind of a world do you want to create? The one where the world is cold and cruel, or the one where the world gets better? And if your answer is not the second one, get the fuck out of my chat and choke on a hot dog, rancid as possible. If your goal is to make the world a better place, a happier place, a safer place, then together we can work on whatever the fuck is wrong with you.
Go to therapy, essentially.
Therapy can help. It can definitely help. I am not a therapist, but I am a person who used to be very transphobic, used to be very homophobic, used to be very racist at a much younger age. I broke that one way faster. Used to be a very conservative Christian, and used to be very abusive. I went to therapy for that. But go ahead and ban me, silence me like you do everyone who disagrees with you. Oh, if it's your fetish, then I'll just go ahead and do it. If it's the thing that gets you horny,
I had a fucking comment on one of my channels. So in one of my recent videos, I just made an offhanded comment about how Trump is an open fascist who is an adjudicated rapist, blah, blah, whatever. I did the whole, like, summarize Trump's character in 2 seconds or whatever. This person wrote, like, this long-ass screed. I'm not going to pretend that I read it. I just hid that person from my channel. But I did take it. I did take a video of me scrolling through it just so I could show how fucking long it was. But I'm like, yeah, no, I am glad that you wasted probably an hour or two of your life writing that out. And I just was like, goodbye, click. I didn't read it. Fuck you.
Yeah. Morbius of Krell, whoever you are, whoever you happen to be, I don't care. But if it's a ban you want, then fine. I'm going to go ahead and hide you from the channel.
Bye-bye.
You basically specifically requested
Bye-bye
it.
Now.
Instead of answering my question about whether or not your goal was to make the world a better place or if it was to make the world worse, more cruel, etc. Instead, you decided to be a child and go, no, if you're going to silence me like everyone else. Yeah,
no, you're just not adding anything to the conversation. Fuck off. We don't care.
I asked, it's the same thing as when I finally banned Falcon Fan. Every time Falcon Fan came in with the fucking...
Oh, too bad.
Every time Falcon Fan came in with the fucking Trump did nothing wrong shit, I would say, okay, cool. What's one thing people claim that he did wrong that you think was actually a correct thing? Like, if you're gonna make those statements, then just back them up. It's all I ask. It's an easy thing. If you're a fan of this thing, like I'm a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, okay? If you ask me about a lore thing in Sonic, I can just fire it off the hip, super easy. I assume that Trump's fans can do the same thing. And yet, for some fucking reason, they never know any of the shit he's ever fucking done. It's
because
so
he hasn't
weird.
done anything. Anyway, Gwenome82 says, I've tried, but it always says nothing's open here. I assume that's the thing where you can buy me food or whatever. I don't know. That's probably a me problem. I probably didn't set it up properly. And that's probably why nobody's ever bought me anything.
Falcon Fan crying while holding a photo of Cirrus.
Probably.
Like, it's the thing. I would rather people come into my stream and have a differing opinion, and either they can learn or I can learn from them. That's my ideal.
I will be right back.
Okay. But if your goal is to come in and just be... I also gave you moderating stuff, Ravi. You have that now. If your goal is to come in and just make things worse for everybody around, then I don't understand why I have to deal with that. It's if somebody came into your house and did that, you wouldn't go, oh, you're just kicking me out because you can't handle debate. No, you would accept like a fucking adult that somebody doesn't want you in their house for whatever reason. It's their fucking house, not yours. My stream is my house. My viewers are my guests. You be a cock to my guests, I'm going to be a cock to you. Simple as that. Simple as that. Sad Wolverine meme with Falcon fan pictures for us. See, that's the thing. I wanted Falcon fan to improve as well. That's what I wanted. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Okay, while he's gone, let's talk about Sonic lore. Who could possibly be the president during the Ark's reconstruction? Oh, it's Reagan. So we know that it has to be Reagan or a Reagan adjacent person because we know that the...
You know I'm not gone, right?
Well, you're back now, but I'm still answering the question in my chat, so have fun. But we know it has to be a Reagan adjacent person because the catalyst for making Shadow the Hedgehog was the AIDS epidemic. And we know that the AIDS epidemic only got as bad as it did because of things under Reagan and Nixon. So whoever the president was, they are at least a Ronald Reagan type person during that era. They have to be. It only makes sense.
Fennec wants to know if I brought enough snacks for everyone. The answer is no. I brought enough snacks for me. I drank a whole fucking bottle of wine. Smoking Loon. It's it tastes like the kind of wine that doesn't tell you what year it was made in, but tells you what year the winery was established.
Established in 2012.
2000,
trendy micro
2002,
wine.
actually.
Oh, I was 10 years off. Fair enough. Gideon Wells says, makes sense. Death Star program, the Arc Eclipse Cannon. Yeah, no, the Space Colony Arc's Eclipse Cannon is just the United States Death Star program. That's all it is. Like, there's so much of the fucking Sonic lore is just this shit happened in real life, but now there's blue hedgehogs.
We haven't even gotten to the second fucking tweet, Cirrus.
You went and took a piss. What do you want from me?
I didn't take a piss. I got snacks.
That's the same thing as taking a piss to the viewers.
Piss comes later.
You took forever. They counted.
I didn't take that long.
Tell it to Puddles.
She's out with Tamika. No, I mean Heidi. Fuck. I didn't dox anyone. Moving on. Chenk says, I'm going to make my boldest prediction yet. I think at least half of Trump's base are actual populists, and they will challenge him if he goes awry. No one on the left will believe me. They think everyone MAGA is in a cult and will follow Trump no matter what. I disagree. So he thinks that people are actually going to try and hold Trump to account for shit.
No, they're not going to fucking do that. They didn't do it last time. They didn't do that shit last time. Also, Chenk, I'm sorry, but everybody in MAGA is a cult. That is not to say every Republican is a cult member, but people have this really weird fascination with saying that the two are the same things. They are not the same things. You can be Republican and not be MAGA.
Yep. They just don't do very well right now.
You can also be MAGA and not be Republican, because that shit's a thing too. Fucking accelerationists are a thing.
But then Kevin Sorbo comes in and pretends like he hasn't been sucking Trump's dick this whole time. He says, yep, we only want America first. If Trump, I assume he means derails instead of details that. So if Trump derails that, he's gone. No, Kevin.
How are you going to make him gone? By what metric?
He has been sucking his dick this entire time when Trump has been actively saying things that are like against Kevin Sorbo's positions. But he has been pro-Trump this entire time.
Like Kevin Sorbo hasn't. If I did a search for Kevin Sorbo and search for Trump, I guarantee you I'm never going to find any actual salient criticisms. I'm going to find him talking about criticisms. So like when leftists said that we want Biden because he's not Trump, but we'll hold Biden to the fire. Do you remember what happened when Biden made the railway workers work? You remember what happened? Every leftist got fucking pissed at him. You know what happened every time that he gave a lukewarm stance on Gaza? Every fucking leftist got pissed at him. We actually did hold the old fart to the fire. MAGA doesn't fucking do that.
You know how many tweets I decided not to include because the fucking Gaza versus Israel thing is depressing? Where it was Palestinians who voted for Trump and are now like, oh, I can't believe Trump is going to be worse for Gaza than Biden or Harris would have been. So many of them.
Because they believe the propaganda.
Obviously, Trump will be worse for Gaza than Biden or Harris. Yes, Biden and Harris fucking suck in that regards. I would much rather have Bernie in charge or whatever. Like, but like, you have the choice between we're going to try and at least make it not be an entire genocide versus fuck Israel all the way because Israel. Like, yeah, both options fucking suck, but one of them is better than the other one. And there were Gazans, like, not Gazans, there were Palestinians, like, people who have reason to want, like, they have, like, personal connections to people that live in the Gaza Strip, that live in Palestine, that voted for Trump because they want to shake things up. But Trump is going to be fucking terrible for that.
Also, shake things up isn't a salient political stance.
It's not, but it seems to be what wins, like, since 2008. Since Obama. Like, Obama won.
Change.
Based on saying, change. I'm going to shake things up. Then Trump won, saying, I'm going to shake things up. Then Biden won because we all realized Trump was a piece of shit. But then Trump came back and said, I'm going to shake things up. And he won again. So, yeah. Sorry for depressing you on that one.
You're good.
So, Elon Musk retweeted Trump's announcement. Like, Trump said he's going to impose a 25% tariff on Mexican and Canadian goods, which is hilarious because where does the States get most of their eggs from? Canada. And the price of eggs was like the meme thing in this election. So, yeah, y'all's egg prices are going up by at least 25% if Trump actually does this.
Egg prices won Trump the election, and it's sad.
But what's hilarious here is that Musk seems to think that fentanyl will be subject to tariffs. It's like, no, that's not how illegal drug trafficking works. Like that's not how any of this works.
Damien says egg prices don't affect me. Yeah, because you have my chickens. I gave you my chickens. So yeah, egg prices don't affect you. You have your chickens and my chickens.
Yeah, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this is going to mean for the Canadian economy. But like, Trump is basically promising to torpedo NAFTA entirely. And that's just going to be bad for everybody. Because NAFTA has been good for everybody.
Zamian says those chickens have been eaten. Yeah, don't tell my mom that. As far as she knows, they are living their best life.
They're at a farm upstate.
They're at a farm upstate, which is technically true. They are in a farm upstate.
Mm-hmm. It's the circle of life. Or something. But yeah, it's just fucking scary that Elon Musk is going to be in charge of government shit.
Look, hearing about friends of ours who work doing government shit and hearing how he's talked about in the United States government is already fucking spooky.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to hear one more Mr. Musk story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how much of that I'm allowed to share, but absolutely, it's terrifying.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going any further into that either. It's just it's spooky.
But also, like, he thinks the price of fentanyl will rise because of these tariffs. Does he think that the
thing
fentanyl
that's being illegally brought in the first place and manufactured here too?
Does he think that the people bringing fentanyl in are declaring it? Like, no, obviously not. This is just going to raise the price of normal goods.
Yep.
And it's stupid.
Sidebar,
But
when
Trump
you brought,
doesn't know what the fuck a tariff is.
when you grabbed snacks, I grabbed the bag of tomato basil pizza crisps I got at Costco yesterday.
Nice.
God, these things are tasty.
They sound tasty.
I'm glad they sound tasty.
So Elon Musk posted a picture of Leonidas with his shield up. And X is the shield. And it's defending free speech.
Yeah, but it's showing all the people who like fucked each other before they went into war.
Well, what I find funny about this is that like X is the shield, but Leonidas is the person that's holding up the shield. So it's free speech that is holding up the shield that is X. But Elon Musk is doing his best to like degrade it and make it not work properly. So it's like free speech is the vulnerable thing that X is that actually not defending.
Look, they're not good at metaphors, okay?
No, they're not.
They're not. Also, I'm just going to say this right now. If anytime you label your platform as the free speech platform, that's just a red flag to minority groups.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it's become now.
Blue Sky is so much better. Like, I don't get depressed when I'm scrolling Blue Sky.
Yeah, you know what's really
No.
cool about Blue Sky? The fact that when I'm looking at the feed, it doesn't refresh halfway through, killing the thing I'm looking at.
Yes. Like, was that really such a hard thing to implement? Obviously not.
It's so helpful.
And also, you can actually cater your feed. Be like, hey, these are the people that I'm following. These are the people that the algorithm might recommend to me. Those are different feeds. You can choose which one you want. As opposed to, hey, these are the people that paid $8 a month. So you must see them, whether you like them or not.
Lord of Uskalak actually has a good point. I think the free speech is supposed to be the spear. So nothing's holding up X.
Yeah, no, the meme just doesn't make sense. I see somebody redeemed a hats 28 minutes ago. I don't remember if I did that one, so I'm just going to put the wizard hat on just in case. So this is for you, Hamathurk1G. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. Oh. This was fun.
Hello.
I think my anonymous source sent me this one. And
That
it's
is
just
fantastic.
yeah, here's Lucy.
Are you starting to warm up on her, or do you still think that
No,
she's the
I
spawn
think
of
she's
Satan?
fucking creepy. This is actually much less creepy because she doesn't have the fucking like eldritch horror in her pupil.
Did you show the picture that Pernia did of us together as as Lucy?
I think so. I don't remember.
We've got the blood.
Send it to me, and also Gesture for $5 says they also say that you use the shield of faith to defend the faith. They are not logical. Yeah. So yeah, send me that again, and I will tell you whether or not I've seen it before.
Sure. Give me just a second to actually find my chat
One
with Pernia.
Mississippi. That was 1 second.
It was 1 second. You're right. Look at you. You can count. That's so cool.
Sometimes I can count.
Sometimes.
I drank a whole fucking bottle of wine. It's Smoking Loon. It tastes like the kind of wine that tells you what year the winery was established in, rather than what year this harvest was from, because there's no information on this bottle as to what year this wine is from. It's a Zinfandel, I think.
Here we go. Here we go. That's why So I don't know alcohol. That's why Masako made Frieza's spaceship the Zinfandel, because he's a fucking wino. Anyway.
Was he a viced wino, though? It's okay, right?
No.
I have the power of anime now. I haven't seen this one, but it looks familiar, so I'm just going to... Oh, I'm gonna add it to the fucking stream. I need to let you control more of this shit because you actually know what you're doing sometimes, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I forgot to uncheck the make visible, but there we go. It's okay, Rhino, we have the power of anime now. With the Eldritch Horror.
You look so uncomfortable with the blood splattered all over your boots, like you don't know what you've done.
Yeah, I mean, that's accurate.
But I know what you've done. I liked it.
I mean, I have... The video that I responded to Father Casey with has a Rhino version of that. As like, normally I have my normal Rhino with the bow tie or whatever, but it has the loose version of Rhino.
The loose version of Rhino?
Not that kind of loose. Like,
oh, okay. That's disappointing.
Okay. Looks like Heidi needs to put Rhino to bed half an hour ago. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, we're getting fun, Rhino.
The bottle of wine is empty. And I was the only one drinking it, so yeah, that's a whole bottle into me.
Is this going to be like the lesson you learned while we were over at GE's house? Drink it fast so you can get the effects.
Well, that's the thing. Is that I'm actually feeling the effects now. So that's what happened when we met with John. I was drinking slowly. I never got buzzed, and then the next morning I felt hungover because I just have a beer occasionally. So you got to drink it fast so you actually get the buzz. So that when you get the hangover, it's like, oh yeah, this is from me getting a little bit drunk. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's worth it, but chat likes to see me drunk. What can I say? Anyway, Kaizen D Assidu as Saidu. I don't know how to say that. So the same people who told you Trump is a fascist engaged in fascism.
When?
Well, because we don't want them to be able to be Nazis publicly. That's fascist, don't you know? The same people who told you Trump is racist engaged in racism. So, like,
when?
That's hiring black people so that you actually have proportional representation.
Oh, I thought it was when I said that white people can't take anything spicier than black pepper.
I mean, you like spicy stuff. You're white.
Sounds about white.
Yeah. The same people who told you Trump was a liar lied. Okay, but there's a order of magnitude difference there. Like, yeah, everybody lies to a certain extent. Trump lies with every fucking word he says.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody's telling me to drink water. They haven't redeemed to hydrate, but I'll drink water anyway.
I mean, you've drunk enough wine, you really should be drinking water. It can help with the hangover.
I took the antihistamine beforehand. Antihistamine supposedly helps with red wine hangovers. The same people who told you Trump will take away your bodily autonomy took away your bodily autonomy. I think that's trying to get at...
It has to be about abortion.
So I think that's trying to say we want to take away your right to bodily autonomy with regards to abortion, but you took away our right to bodily autonomy with regards to the vaccine that we were never actually forced to take. It was just, if we want to participate in society, we need to have been vaccinated, but you actually had a choice.
Yeah, that confuses me.
Oh, apparently somebody redeemed a hydrate that I missed, so I will drink more water.
Also, fun fact, the most libertarian of libertarian asshats, Ayn Rand, was pro-forced vaccinations.
I mean, she also took Social Security in her old age.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Don't just look where the finger is pointing, look at who is pointing. I mean, I'm perfectly fine accepting whatever responsibility they put on me as long as they fucking, like, do basic human dignity shit.
Also, saying look at who is pointing, I want to say that could be a salient criticism, but there's a fucking part of me that can't see that without screaming, okay, so we're just doing the genetic fallacy now today, I guess.
Yeah. Van Briggs says, thank you, VR. I just want to be sure you don't fall over during the stream. That would be much more entertaining, though, would it not?
Guys, we're going to get Rhino drunk and also playing Magic on stream, and the game will not be able to complete.
So I have volunteered to Cirrus that I will be his patsy, I guess, for a video of, like, how to teach a noob how to play Magic or something. So.
And before I just take my beginner box and go, okay, today we're using the Magic the Gathering Foundation's beginner's box.
I get to be cats. You get to vampires.
That's entirely fair. I did the cats game when I did my game on my Magic the Gathering channel.
I don't fucking know. Hey, I just know that I can pick it up from whatever fucking store. Remember our conversation where it was like, oh,
yeah.
Well, if I go to the store, I have to actually go to the store, but whereas if I go to GameStop, they can just ship it to me. So it turns out Canada Post is on strike. So I ordered it from GameStop, and they were like, yeah, no, we can't ship it to you. Come pick it up.
Huh.
So I have to go to the store either way, but now I'm going to the fucking big box store. Not really big box, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Anyway, next up we got Martin Caro says, this is straight up pathetic. Conservatives being banned from Blue Sky just for stating facts. By stating facts, I'm going to guess he means discriminating against trans people.
Something gender.
Guaranteed. Yet you see gay porn in this site, and the woke mods don't do anything about it, but rather encourage it. There's a difference between, hey, I'm seeing a dick in a butt, and I want to see a dick in a butt, and so that's okay, and that's okay with the terms of service, and I'm telling someone with a dick that they're not actually a woman because I'm anti-trans, and it turns out that trans people exist, and so some women have dicks. Like, those are different things.
Yeah. Like, this is one of those things that I get angry about very easily for obvious biased reasons. And yeah. I'm okay with that. I'm generally pretty okay with that.
Well, as someone who is fairly new to this whole, like, I'm a straight-leaning pansexual, so, like, I'll suck a guy's dick, whatever. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand the hang-up with what equipment people have. Whatever. Who fucking cares?
Just a straight guy and don't like men and realize that the masculine part about men is not the penis. It's the face.
Mm-hmm.
It's the face. I'm sorry. That is the make it or break it for me at the end of the day. It is the face.
Sure. And see, as a straight-leaning pansexual, I can understand that. But even with a masculine face, I'll still suck your dick. It's okay.
Look, guys, the drunker Rhino got while I was over at the birthday party, the more times he talked about sucking my dick. It just happened, so...
I don't know that I ever did talk about sucking your dick. I did. You tried to give me this crazy Christian side hug before you left. And so my response to that was, if the tips don't touch, it doesn't count. So, like, we had to do a hug where the tips touched.
Man, but... I wanted to have this whole bit when I got back where I would just start playing Give Me That Christian Side Hug in the middle of our stream.
Well, that's what you did. Like, you were about to leave, and you, like, gave me this awkward, like, side hug thing. And, like, you gave me a stronger hug than that when we first met. Like, what the fuck is this? We know each other better now. Let's touch tips.
You said, guys, is it gay to be gay? Splinter says Rhino is now gayer than Cirrus. YouTuber
Grudge says Rhino is thirsty. Yeah, no, yes, I am gayer than Cirrus. I've told you, I am a straight-leaning pansexual. I am attracted to the female presentation, but I'll suck anyone's dick. So
I would like to start I would like to start a race to see which one of us can suck more dick, but I'm at an obvious disadvantage.
I'm okay with that race. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm at a disadvantage because I, 1, have an ace partner, and 2, am not attracted to men. So I have a very limited pool of viability for this.
I just need to get my partner's permission, then I'm off. Okay. I don't remember what the fuck this tweet was about, and I don't fucking care. So let's go to Vivek. Ramaswamy says, the fear-mongering has begun, but the real thing we should be afraid of is the loss of self-governance to an unelected bureaucracy, says the guy who is head of a department that is basically entirely unelected bureaucracy.
Yeah. 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 Like, my guy, we live in something very adjacent to an oligarchy. What the fuck are you on about?
Okay. Travis Edrington says, sucking or licking anything is just ew. Counterpoint, sucking or licking anything is just,
Counterpoint, on stream, while we were doing the Scarlet Monastery run, I straight up said, with Saki in the group, oh, I want to lick Inquisitor Whitemane's thighs.
Was Saki Inquisitor Whitemane?
No, she was killing her.
Fennec says, no, you gotta do the book talk growl. I don't know what the book talk growl is. Is it something like that? I don't know.
Will is trash in my chat just went,
I think we might need to stop. We're getting our audience too excited. We need to stop.
I think that means we need to continue.
Volpic says, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. God, my partner's gonna kill me.
Like,
she's gonna laugh at me first, but then she's gonna kill me.
Like, Rhino, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Wouldn't you?
Sure. I'm not putting that on stream, not because it's spicy or anything. It's just not actually that
It's
interesting.
not necessary.
It's not necessary. It's sexy lady in the style of a magic card. Okay.
She was the boss we were killing in World of Warcraft.
Was she? Sure, why not?
Which I found out that apparently she was so popular, even though she was a nothing boss from a nothing story. I think just because she's hot, she was so popular that Blizzard brought her back by reviving her and turning her into an undead Death Knight so they could just have her in the story again.
I'm not going to pretend she wasn't hot, but, like, nothing special.
I think it's also that, like, if you've ran Scarlet Monastery 12 billion times, you're just so used to staring at her, there's a form of Stockholm Syndrome associated with it.
Sure, why not? Anyway, Wendell. We got to get on to Wendell.
No, we don't. We don't really have to do that.
Yes, we do. Wendell says, atheistic claim. God doesn't exist because there's so much evil in the world. Apologetic defense. If you're saying that God doesn't exist but evil does, then you're implying that evil exists independently of God. Therefore, the presence of evil cannot be used as an argument against God's existence. If evil can exist without God, it is not evidence against God.
If evil can exist without God, but the world only exists in the way that God plans, then God planned for evil to exist in the world. Therefore, God's not all good.
I mean, sure, but what I got out of this is evil cannot exist without God, therefore God necessitates evil, therefore your God is evil? Oh, god damn it, I just took the hat off. Why are you doing more hats? Whatever. This is apropos. We've been talking about sexuality, so let's go with my world's okayest bisexual hat. Yeah, I don't know.
Friday's already crazy in my town. It's only Wednesday. Jesus.
Is it only Wednesday? Fuck. And yeah, you know what? I'm actually late with my video. I'm sorry, Piper. But that's because I went to visit you guys in Georgia. Or no, Alabama. I was in Alabama, not Georgia. You live in Georgia.
Yep.
We visited in Alabama.
You'll be coming here next.
Will I?
For some reason, I'll figure something out.
No, you're coming to Canada.
Oh, okay.
We're moving into a house that can actually fit all our kids. So we can also fit, like, trans refugees from the States and make our kids share rooms again.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. No, there are definitely people that that I have offered my basement to as a refuge should they need to. Cirrus and Saki are on the list. You're not the only ones. We might have a big old party.
I'm all for big old parties. Look,
Like,
I love
I would
cooking,
rather
so
I would rather my new house be new rooms for every kid, but like the way things are going, if I have to be a refugee house, I'm going to be a refugee house. That's just the way it's going to have to be.
makes sense.
You going to bed? Okay. Mwah. Love you. That's my partner. She's going to bed. Heidi. Her name is Heidi. That's the only name that you heard me call her tonight.
Yep, and the more you bring attention to it.
Yeah. I hope I can figure out my moving arrangements. It's going to take at least a year. Yeah, like I said, there's a few people that I've offered my basement to, and hopefully you don't all take me up on that offer at the same time. But if you do, we'll figure it out.
If you do, then we all have gaming buddies.
Yeah, I mean, you might drive Heidi nuts, and she will kick you all out because she's tired of hearing of magic. But
She did straight up say, if we all go to breakfast, nobody talks about magic.
she did say that. Yeah.
The
I mean,
problem...
Richard Carrier was there. I feel like he wasn't really all into magic at that time. I feel like you're gonna get him there eventually, but
He is very into game design, and he's very into tabletop. That's a recipe for that shit.
and Godless Granny is adorable. We all love Godless Granny.
She was very smile and nod during all of it.
Yeah. Cuddle Puddles? I think Puddles went to bed with my partner. She likes an early bedtime. Like she gives us dirty looks if we don't go to bed early enough. Oh, not the dog. Okay. I know what a cuddle puddle is when it's not my dog.
It's a cuddle puddle because nobody's cleaned up the mess yet.
No, the cuddle puddle is what you, me, and John were doing in the Apollo
in the
capsule.
Apollo.
Yeah. Oh, that was the last one. Wendell's the last one, so we're done.
We timed it for exactly 11:01 Eastern.
It's 10:43. Oh no, it's
What?
11. Okay, no, never mind. It's
What do you have that says 10:43?
my Windows thing. You know how, like, if I switch between different desktops, everything's supposed to be fine, but like
Yeah.
Explorer just freezes. Apparently, it froze at 10:43, which is weird because I don't remember switching desktops at that time. But I mean, I drank a whole bottle of wine. There's going to be a lot that I don't remember.
That's fair.
What kind of wine did you drink? I drank Smoking Loon. It's a Californian wine. It's the kind of wine that they don't tell you what year these grapes were done in, but they tell you the year the winery started. Is established in 2002. So basically, it's cheap, crappy wine. I grabbed it while I was in a rush to get milk this morning because the big kids drank all the milk before the little kids could have their fill. I don't know. It's not terrible, but it's not great.
It just kind of is.
It's a wine. So, yeah. Thanks for joining us. Who's online that we should raid? That I should raid? Are you still doing stuff after we're done?
I'm still doing stuff after. I'm going to be doing some games with Saki after this.
Let's see. Search and filter. Do I have any suggestions for raids from my Twitch people? I guess I could just raid Cirrus.
You do what you want to do.
I typed in Cirrus and you didn't come up. So I don't know what's going on.
No, we're all fucked then.
There's Cirrus Kata 950.
Who the fuck is that?
I don't know. Following. There we go. Ah, there you are. Oh, Jake's live. Maybe I'll raid Jake.
Jake is live. Jake's great.
Okay, I'll raid Jake. Credits first. As always, fuck off.